Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Dear Love Talk questions. And today we're starting with a bang, because this first question, I'm telling you, it's really something different. But before we read you today's first question, we want to remind you that you can get in contact with us, send us your questions to questions@lovetalkshow.tv.
Absolutely. And don't forget to also subscribe, because we do have our separate videos on YouTube as well.
That's
okay?
right.
So first question is for
the
you.
first one, it's from someone who wished to remain anonymous. And
I understand why.
she says, and we know it's a she because you'll see on the nature of the question. She says, "Hi guys, just a quick question. If you find out that your partner is moonlighting as a male escort, do you take him back?"
Where's the buzzer? Right here.
Well, you'll see why. I think you understand why we use the buzzer on this one. But let me just say, look, you know, there are problems, there are things that happen in a relationship. If someone slips up and if there's unfaithfulness, that you can, which by the way, unfaithfulness is not a slip up, but you can argue that depending on what it was, you may want to work on the relationship and try to find a way to repair the damage that was done. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, the person wasn't paying attention, they got too involved with someone who was paying them attention and they made a mistake. Now with this, you've clearly got someone who has no regard for you. And they have no regard for you for various reasons. Number one, because they went sleeping around with different people. And, you know, he may say it's to help your financial situation, whatever it is, but it's completely wrong. Mm-hmm. Then you have a disregard for your health. Because if he's sleeping around with other women that much, imagine he picked up an illness, a virus, an STI, and you are at risk of being also hit with that. So you asked me the question, you know, should I take him back? I think just the fact that you asked the question is already a problem. Mm-hmm. Because I think there's no way that someone who hid this from you and had that much disregard for you as a person and a partner should be even considered to be accepted back.
Yeah, and that sounds like another case where the dating, that, I'm sorry, I don't know, I can't judge you, but it sounds like you weren't respecting that period called dating again, because you should know where the person, what the person does, what the tendencies are and everything. Mm-hmm. And I know, because this is happening a lot. You hear about the sugar daddies and all the sugar ladies or whatever you want to call them out there. And there is a lot of stuff people do to earn extra money. Mm-hmm. that has become normal. And I know I may sound quite, quite a lot of, quite old-fashioned, but I don't care. Because it's not normal.
But I think on this one...
Maybe she doesn't know.
I think on this one, no one will say that you are old-fashioned. It's plain wrong.
Well, you never know. You never know.
And anyone who sees this can see that this is wrong. So this is lack of integrity, lack of character, lack of self-love for someone to put themselves through that, and lack of love for you. Yeah. So the question you ask, should I take him back? You know, only if you like to suffer. If you like to be a toy in someone's hands. And not even second best, but maybe 100th best. If you like that, please do take him back.
I think you deserve better.
If you haven't struggled enough, then do take him back. But if you want to be happy, then move on.
Absolutely. You deserve better than that.
That's
now,
right.
Next question is from Josephine Saints. And she says, my husband and I love each other a lot. But there are people who don't want to see us together. How do we deal with this? Like I always say, who cares what people think? Of course, unless they have a specific reason. Oh, listen, I've seen him do this and that. I've seen him cheating on you. I have proofs. I've seen this and that. It's different. But if it's just a general opinion, I mean, you need to stand your ground. If you're dating the person, if you've done your research, because relationships are very, you can't just say, oh, I couldn't choose who I fell in love with, and then you just surrender to some random people or that person or whatever. you need to know, right? You need to do a little background check, or you need to speak to friends. You need to see who is this person, where does he like to hang around, what kind of person is this. If it's good enough for you, if you're happy with that, so.
But then, it's like you said, I think when people say that they don't like your partner or husband or boyfriend, it's one of two reasons. No matter how perfect the guy is or the girl is, there will always be people who may not like him or her for whatever reason. But then again, you have to listen to those who say they don't like him or her and see why they're saying that. Because like Elena said, if they're saying, look, I don't like your husband, or this person's not good for you because he's a cheat, because
he was flirting with her best friend or
yes,
her friends.
or he's lazy, he doesn't work, he stays at home the whole day, he never had a job in his life. We've heard of cases where the woman was married for 10 years. And in the 10 years that the woman was married, the guy worked 2 months out of those 10 years. And then he says, oh, it's because no one ever gives me a chance. Baloney. Baloney. It's a lie. This guy, by the way, let's use the buzzer on this one. I don't usually use the buzzer that much, but I have to on this one. So again, I didn't use the buzzer on the person who asked the question. Just on those who say, oh, for 10 years, I never really had a chance to work. Of course you had. Any man with self-respect, he will find a job somehow, somewhere.
Although there are people out there who don't mind having a husband like this. So who are we to judge?
Going back to what we were saying, you need to ascertain whether this person that you're married to, people say they don't like them because it's one or two people and they have this misconception about your husband. If that's the case, like Elena said, ignore them. And if you have a good relationship to prove them wrong, then move forward. But of course, if there's a reason why people say that he's not good for you or she's not good for you, then do investigate. I think sometimes we have to be a little bit like Sherlock Holmes.
Really?
Right, and investigate the situation. Sometimes it's good.
Yeah, so you need to know what you want for yourself. If it makes you happy, if it makes sense, and if it's healthy relationship, then go for it. But if it's someone from another, I don't know, background or whatever, it doesn't matter. Are you willing to go through with that? Are you willing to commit to a person like this? You will be the one living with the person. So the choice is yours.
That's right. Yeah. And now the final question. And actually, this last question is something that we've answered similarly before on this program, but we're going to go and answer this particular question again. And this is from Alba Greenberg. And she says, my husband works away from home during the week, but I can't be with him because we have 2 young children. I recently found in his phone pictures and messages from another woman, but he says he never actually had anything physical with her. He cried and asked me to forgive him, but I don't know what to do. He's 27 years old and I'm 23. And we haven't been married for very long.
That's another sad situation.
Yes, and I think the first thing is this. Whether you can forgive him or not depends on whether how genuine you think he is when he asked you to forgive him and to say that he's never going to do this again and so on. And you can come to an agreement to move forward from this. But even if you decide to do that, you are not solving the problem if you continue to work or to live apart from each other. We have said here in this program before that people who have long or long distance relationships, this is not a permanent solution. This is never going to work for years.
You are bound to have problems sooner or later.
Exactly. So the idea is for you to understand that a long distance relationship like yours, a long distance marriage, has to be for a very short period of time. If you say, look, but if he moves back here, we make a lot less money. It's better for you to make less money but have an intact and happy marriage than you setting yourself up for these troubles.
I just wanted to touch a little bit on that thing of him having pictures of other women on his phone, in his phone. I was talking to someone a while back who came to me for advice with the exact same thing. My boyfriend has a lot of pictures of girls and And when I take his phone, I'm just looking at pictures that we took together, and I notice that he's been browsing and all this kind of stuff, you know what I mean? And I confront him about it. He says, well, this is a guy's thing. There's nothing wrong with that. I love you. This is just a picture. So as you can see, it's that same thing. There's another culture out there where, and again, call me old-fashioned if you want, but I don't care, is that it's normal. It's not normal. It's not normal. I mean, the desire to look at these pictures might be normal for him, but once you are in a relationship, you don't do that. It's very disrespectful. It's very childish, very immature. And women out there who have boyfriends like this, you would be better off by yourself or finding someone who is a lot more, you know, healthier when it comes to decision making, because it's a terrible lack of respect.
And
I think
something else that some people might say is that, well, but if this relationship was meant to work and if he loves her, then whether he's, you know, far away from her or not, then he would be faithful. That's a lie. That's a lie, because once you are with someone, you've committed to someone, you have this physical and committed relationship with someone, you know, you're used to having that intimacy, that relationship, and then you go and you stay away from that person for months. You know, you're asking for trouble, because, you know, men and women both have physical limitations, and they'll feel the need for physical contact and so on. And if he doesn't have
friendship, talking to someone,
so it's not a matter of, oh, if he were faithful, he would have been faithful whether he's here near me or far away. That's a lie.
So both are wrong there if they are to keep that distance.
The only solution, whether you decide to forgive him or not, because that was your question, the only solution is that you compromise, you decide to come together, and, you know, whatever knock your finances will have to take for you to be together, you move and you stay with him, but that will be the permanent solution.
I agree.
That's all we have time for in this week's Dear Love Talk. Don't forget, if you want to get in touch with us, send us your email to questions@lovetalkshow.tv or through our Facebook page. Until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.